So a lot of people seem to enjoy my Solana airdrop farming video, and it seemed to help a lot of you guys out. So now that I've started farming some airdrops on Cosmos, I thought I might as well share that and hopefully help some of you guys out as well, so you don't miss out on some of these cool future airdrops in the Cosmos ecosystem. Cosmos ecosystem has been absolutely exploding recently, both in price, like for some of these later ones like Inj, Say, Celestia, etc., but also in active users and just overall popularity on the different Cosmos chains. I assume the Cosmos ecosystem saw what was going on Solana and they wanted some of that attention as well. And now there has been tons of major airdrops within the Cosmos ecosystem, and there will be a lot more over the next few months. So how exactly can you get some of these airdrops yourself? Now, before we jump into it, if this content helps you out and you want more crypto content just like this, do make sure to subscribe and like the video. Also, let me know what kind of content you want to see next down below in the comment section. Now, with that said, let's jump into it. So first of all, the basics of the Cosmos ecosystem. You obviously need a wallet. The most popular ones are Kepler as well as Leap wallet. Personally, I'm using Kepler, and that's the one I will use in this example as well, but you can choose whichever one you want. So once you have installed Kepler wallet or Leap wallet, this is essentially what it looks like. And what you want to go ahead and do is to activate the different wallet addresses and different layer ones on Cosmos, because right away you will only get a Cosmos Atom address. But if you go on the side and manage chain visibility, you can enable the different chains you want to use, like Injective, Celestia, Osmosis. Now, Kepler doesn't actually have the Say blockchain, but I will get to that later in the video, how to add that as well. And it also doesn't have Kujira as a standard chain. So once you scroll down here, you probably won't be able to see Kujira. What you can do to add the Kujira chain to Kepler is just go to Kujira Blue, which is Kujira's own site, and connect wallet, and it will automatically ask to add the Kujira network to your wallet. Now, once you have added all these different chains, you will be able to see them in your wallet, and you can copy the different addresses of the different chains, because all of these chains will have a different wallet address. Now, once you have a wallet and once you have these different wallet addresses and the different chains enabled in your wallet, what you need to do is buy some of these different assets. Now, how airdrop farming on Cosmos works is that you will get some airdrops just by holding and staking the Atom Cosmos token itself, basically, but you will also get more airdrops by owning and staking the different layer ones like Injective, like Celestia, like Say, like Osmosis. And you can earn even more by going into all of these different layer ones and like playing around with different DeFi protocols, etc. But first I want to share exactly what I do, which is own and stake these different layer ones, and then we can go into how to go even further than that later in the video. So what you need to do is buy a little bit of all of these different tokens. So the ones I recommend you to buy and to stake to get as many of these airdrops as possible is the Atom Cosmos token itself. That's the one I recommend you to have the most of, and then Injective, Celestia, Kujira, Osmosis, as well as Say, but you will need a different wallet to get and stake Say, which I will show you very soon. Now, you can buy most of these tokens on your favorite centralized exchange. I just used Binance to buy Injective, Celestia, Atom, as well as Osmosis and Say. Now, Kujira isn't actually listed on many of these big exchanges. So what I recommend you to do to get the Kujira token is buy the amount you want of Kujira in Osmo token. Basically, if you want $100 worth of Kujira, just buy $100 worth of Osmo on top of the Osmo token itself that you want to stake. Then go to app.osmosis.zone, which is Osmosis' own DEX. Then you can swap Osmo to Kujira. This Kujira will then be on Osmosis, but what you can do is go to assets, and your Kujira tokens will show up right here, and you can click withdraw and it will be withdrawn to the Kujira chain itself, and it will show up in your wallet. No, it sounds a bit complicated. Really isn't that complicated. You just buy a bit more Osmo, you go on Osmosis, swap, and you swap from Osmo to Kujira, go to assets, click withdraw, and it will show up in your wallet. And this way you will obviously also have used the Osmosis DEX, which can make you eligible for even more airdrops on Osmosis. Now, if you don't want to use a centralized exchange, you can also bridge your tokens, for example, on change.io. Changenow.io basically bridge your tokens for you. So if you want to bridge, let's say 5 Solana, choose Atom right here. They have a lot of different assets. Click on exchange. Then you need to put a recipient wallet, which is your Atom wallet, where this Atom will get sent. You click confirm. You will get a Solana wallet where you will need to send your Solana. You send 5 Solana to that wallet, and once they have confirmed that they have gotten your Solana, you will get sent this amount of Atom. Basically, that's how you can get these different assets. So once you obviously buy on a centralized exchange, you need to withdraw it from that exchange into your Kepler or Leap wallet. Now, when it comes to amounts you actually need in these different tokens, I would recommend you to get at least $100 of each, but obviously the bigger amounts, the bigger airdrops you are likely to get as well. But by having at least $100, you will most likely be eligible for a lot of these airdrops. Less than that, you might not become eligible. And I also recommend you to have a bit more Atom than the different chains on Cosmos, because Atom is often prioritized and they often get even more airdrops. They often get like all these different airdrops compared to the separate layer 1 chains. So what I've basically done with my holdings is I've gotten twice the size of Atom as the different chains. So if I were to get $100 worth of Osmo, Injective, Say, etc., I would get $200 worth of Atom. Now, once you have these different assets, it's time to stake these different assets. So if you go into Kepler wallet, you can actually manage portfolio in Kepler dashboard. And this is what the Kepler dashboard looks like, just like a bigger, more advanced version of your wallet. So you will have all your assets right here, and you can see this stake option. So just click on stake. So right here, you will basically be able to stake all of your different assets. As you can see all the chains down here, except for Kujira. I will show you how to stake Kujira as well. But if you want to stake, for example, Injective, just click on Injective. You will be able to choose a validator. What I recommend and what is recommended by most people is to choose a validator outside of the top 10, because Cosmos themselves and these different chains want to promote decentralization, and the chains get more decentralized if all these different validators have an equal amount of tokens staked in them, and that there's not like 5 validators that hold 90% of the tokens. So choose a validator outside of the top 10. I think I went for Crossnest, but it shouldn't matter too much which one you go for, except for it has to be outside of the top 10 and it should not be an exchange validator. So do not go for like Binance staking. I know Coinbase has a validator on some of these different chains as well. Do not go for an exchange and try to go outside of the top 10. Now, on some of these chains, what you can actually do is actually go to midscan.io and see more details on each of these validators. For example, on Cosmos, I can click on Cosmos, I can go to validators. This is a list of all the different validators. As you can see right here, you have Coinbase at the top, you have Binance down here. If you scroll down, you see a bit more information on all of these different ones. What you want is as high amount of participation as possible. You want the lowest amount of missed blocks and the highest uptime possible. So for Cosmos, I believe I went for this one, Chorus 1, because they have a high percent of uptime right here, high percent of participation, and low amount of missed blocks, and they are outside of the top 10. And they're not an exchange. So that's one I decided to go for, but it shouldn't matter too much. But if you also click into this one, you can see the amount of self-bonded tokens, meaning they're staking a lot of tokens themselves in their own validator, which just means you can kind of trust them a bit more. But to be fair, any of these like top 50 validators should be fine. Just also another tip, do not go for validators with 0% in commission, because some of these different airdrops have also excluded the validators that have 0% commission. So try to stick between like 2 and 10% in commission on these different validators. So that's basically all the different things you need to look at when choosing a validator, but it shouldn't matter too much other than those things that I mentioned. So as you can see within the Kepler dashboard, you can stake Injective, Atom tokens, Celestia, Osmosis, and then to stake your Kujira, you need to go back to the Kujira Blue dashboard, which is Kujira's own website and the one I showed you earlier, to basically add the network in the Kepler wallet. And this is what it will look like when you first go into it. You can go down to stake, and you can choose whatever validator you want and basically stake your Kujira. Now on Kujira Blue, it actually shows you a list from the smallest validators, and the further down you go, you get to the biggest ones, basically also just to promote decentralization because they want you to choose the lower ones. Again, do not choose the top 10 biggest one. Try to stay somewhere in the middle with like a 5% commission, something like that, and you should be good to go. Okay, so you have now bought and staked all of these different assets in the Cosmos ecosystem. Now, it's also important that you actually know the different airdrops that are about to launch and the different airdrops you are eligible to claim, because a lot of these airdrops obviously don't just show up in your wallet magically. You have to actually manually claim them. And so it's very important to stay active in the Cosmos ecosystem, follow the right people so you actually get told what airdrops you are able to claim. What I recommend you to do and what I've actually done is just create a Cosmos list on Twitter. Just follow the people that share a lot of details about Cosmos airdrop. So once a day or something, just go into this list, scroll through it, and you will be able to see the details on the different airdrops. You, for example, will have this guy, which is basically dedicated to just sharing information about Cosmos airdrops. But what I will do is leave the links to all of these 8 people that I have in my own Cosmos list down below in the description, so you can go and follow them. At the same time, drop me a follow over on Twitter if you're not following me as well. But basically just create a Cosmos Twitter list that you check out once a day to stay up to date on different airdrops in the ecosystem. For example, this Cosmos airdrop profile just shared yesterday that noise airdrop alert. This is what you need to do to be eligible. They give you all the details and you can go ahead and claim your tokens. Now, obviously be careful, do your research, do not just click on any random links. You need to actually make sure it's legit first, but it is very important to stay up to date in the ecosystem so you don't miss out on any airdrop. Now, just like really quickly, how to do the same thing for Say tokens. Download Compass wallet. Basically, it's built by the same people that built the Leap wallet. So Compass is the biggest and most used wallet on Say. And this is what it looks like. Very straightforward. Just buy some Say tokens on any big centralized exchange. Say is listed pretty much anywhere. It will show up in your wallet when you withdraw it. Just go to stake right here within the wallet and you can click stake, choose a validator, and you're good to go. And that's basically it. That's exactly what I'm personally doing to get some exposure to some of these Cosmos airdrops. And this is like the most basic level. Obviously you can only stake Atom as well and get some airdrops, but staking Atom as well as staking the biggest L1s in the Cosmos ecosystem is like the most efficient and easiest way to get some of these big airdrops. But if you want even more exposure within the separate chains as well, like you can easily go and farm Injective airdrops only if you interact with some of the DeFi protocols within Injective or Say or Celestia or Osmosis or any of these chains, but it gets a lot more complicated and it takes a lot more time. Obviously, that's what I did a little bit on Solana. It's not as easy as only staking Solana. You actually have to also use some of these different protocols. But on Cosmos, we're lucky enough to only be able to stake some of these different tokens and get some of these airdrops. Now, if you want information on how to actually farm even more airdrops within the different ecosystems, that would be like a separate video for each ecosystem. And I'm not going to do that because I'm not doing that sort of farming myself for these ecosystems, and because there are already a lot of really good tutorials out there on YouTube for exactly that. For example, the homie Cody on Chain posted about Say airdrop farming, how you can farm some Say airdrops very recently, only 8 days ago, so I highly recommend checking that out. If you want Injective, you can just search for Injective airdrop and you will get some really smart people. For example, Miles right here, I've taken a lot of inspiration from him and also learned a lot from him. He shares a lot of good airdrop guides as well. For example, right here on Injective, he has also shared one on Celestia recently, and if you search for the different chains you want to farm, you will easily find a lot of good tutorials on how to farm those different chains. But that's basically how I do it and how you can easily do it as well. Hope this tutorial made sense. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, remember to smash a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you farm any Cosmos airdrops down below in the comment section. Also, let me know what sort of content you would like to see next. Would you like to see some airdrop farming on some other chains? Would you like to see some NFT content, crypto content in general? Let me know. If you haven't watched my Solana airdrop farming video and you're into that kind of stuff, definitely check that out. Also, check out my meme coin trading tutorial if you want to get better at trading meme coins. And overall, I make a lot of crypto content here on this channel, so definitely you do not want to miss out moving into this upcoming bull run. So definitely subscribe to the channel. With that said, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and I'll see you guys later. Peace.